So I noticed that my chickens were sneezing quite a bit, so I thought, what could I do to try and stop it? And my mum recommended this stuff. We sell it in our shop, but basically, so it's poultry spice. You just add this to their feed, and the idea is that it sort of stops them from sneezing and just improves their general health. So I decided to try that, and then I also bought these fresh nest herbs. It says basically to sprinkle about a handful in each nest box, and this just helps to keep them happier and healthier, so that when they're in the nest box to lay the eggs, they're a lot calmer and relaxed. And I thought, seeing as I am moving them in and they're going to be getting some more soon, I want them to be as calm as they can be, so I thought I'd treat them to this. So it's day 5 now of having the chickens. Let's see if we got any eggs. Yep. So that's the first time that all 3 hens have laid in the same day, which is good. As you can see, I put some of that nice scented stuff in for them, so perhaps that made a difference, but I'd say it's more coincidence. But it is funny how they keep laying in this nest box as opposed to all the others, but I'll take them out and compare them all. I'm really impressed with that. There we go. So this far one here is obviously a bit darker than the others, but they're all similar size. I'm really impressed with this. I did move the chicken pen around a little bit yesterday, so I moved this arc from there to obviously here, and then that metal container, I moved that to there from here, and it looks like the chickens have already walked over it. Obviously it's a lot softer soil, but I'm hoping that perhaps they'll have dust baths here then. And then my plan is to fix up this arc, and this one doesn't really need fixing up as much, it just needs a bit of a tidy up really. Take all the weeds and stuff from inside, put some nice bedding in the top, and perhaps replace some of this stuff, because it's come off in a few places obviously, but there's not loads that needs to be done now, because I cut down some of the willows that were leaning against here, so really these props aren't needed as much anymore, because the main issue was the willows. And obviously look, I'm going to have to cut this one again because it's still pushing against it, but I managed to fix this piece of render fence, and then I've tied them together so that they don't fall over. I've tied these together as well, and beaten down just a few of the weeds that were along here. So it seems the most popular spot for the hens at the minute is sort of around here. This is where they spent quite a lot of time yesterday. So, and today obviously you can see where they've been digging around. And obviously it looks like they've been going around picking here. Oh look, they've all come out again now. It's funny because they tend to go in about 4 or 5 o'clock, they go in, but obviously now I've come back up here, they've decided to join me. So there we go, we got all 3 out, and I've not actually had to do anything. Another thing, I'll just put these eggs down a minute because I don't want to drop them. There we go. So as for the chickens I was supposed to be getting, it will probably be after Royal Cornwall show now. So for anybody who doesn't know what that is, it's basically just a big show. The first day of it was today, and I think it's till Saturday. Yeah, till Saturday. So it will probably be after Saturday at some point now, only because a lot of people go there, so it's safe to say that they've probably gone there. So I just... There we go. Right, sorry about that. So I've put some poultry spice in their food, just to try and improve their health a little bit and maybe stop them from sneezing. Only because this one, although she's looking a bit better today, if you see her, well, she's just looking a lot paler really, compared to the other two. She just looks a lot paler, but she's looking a bit better today. So I wasn't able to film it, however I got these two silkies over the weekend. They don't know much about roosting at all, they were on the floor, so I picked them up and moved them into the nest boxes. They might feel a bit safer there. They are a bit shy of people, but they're fine to be picked up, but as you can tell they really don't like me being here, and my torch probably isn't helping, but they aren't too comfortable with it. So they're both obviously females, and I've had eggs from them today. The reason why I haven't recorded any of this is because I was busy taking apart my polytunnel. For those of you who don't know, I bought a 120 foot long polytunnel, so I've been busy taking that apart the past couple days. So sorry for not recording these at all. This is the end of their first full day here with me, and as I mentioned, they've already had their first eggs. I think I've recorded that, so that'll be going just after this clip. But that's it for day one. And just to give you a bit of information about my 3 pekins, they're doing fine, they're still laying. They all, are pecking at each other a bit in the morning, but they've sorted each other, out now. They've sorted the pecking order out, and despite the silkies this morning being the ones taking the food away, these ones have since sort of taken back their place at the top. So, as far as I can tell, these are at the top of the pecking order, because this morning I threw corn. Silkies chased my pekins away. This evening I threw it, and they were all just there together. So I think they've sorted it out now, which is good. And I will see you in day 2. So here's just a size comparison for you. So the ones on the left here, these are all the pekin eggs, and these are the 2 silky eggs. As you can tell, the silky eggs are slightly different. That's because I just got slightly different silkies. But if I put this one next to them, you can see that the silky egg's a lot shinier. And if I put this in between, just so you can get the best. So obviously this one from one is quite long, whereas this one's a lot wider. But it's possible, this is just a bit of a weird egg from the silkies. But yeah, so this is what I'm going to be expecting from now on, a nice sized egg. And as you can see, the eggs from these pekins are actually becoming slowly darker as they're laying them. So this was the older egg I've got from the bantams, and these were the ones from the other day. So as you can see, with better feeds, the eggs are becoming ever so slightly darker. So it's day 2 of having the new silkies. As you can still see, they still haven't learned to use the roosting. And I've basically just come up here now to shut them away. But as you can see, they're all ready to go to sleep. They're already, the pekins are already on the roosting. Just the silkies, because they just, well, where they came from, they didn't have any roostings, so they don't know to do that. So I got 1 egg from the pekins today, and unless there's been any more, which there haven't. And there's some under here. I don't know what to say. Sorry. Oh, look, there is as well. Oh, freshly laid. So this is one of the silky eggs. A lot shinier. Yeah, still warm. So I've had a silky egg today and a pekin egg today. As I said, these are all ready to go to bed, so I'll leave them get on with that, and I'll stick the silkies up on the roosting. So that's it for day 2.